Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikon here coming at you with another gameplay impressions video, and today we're going to be talking about Legend of Legacy for the 3DS. This title was sent to me by NISAmerica so that I could give it a look and tell you guys my opinions on it. So I still don't have a reliable means of capturing 3DS footage, so I'll be showing some trailer footage and whatever I can find on the internet somewhere in here so that you guys can take a look of what the gameplay looks like and just tell you how I felt as I was playing through the game. Right now, I believe I am probably like 5 hours in, and I have to say, as much as I can understand what kind of game this is, and I can see the draw to it, I feel that there's just something about this game that it hasn't really caught up to me yet, which is weird because usually I tend to really enjoy these kinds of Japanese games, and in this case I wasn't really grabbed by it. Like, for instance, you take a look at another game like Etrian Odyssey Fafnir Night, which I recently made a video about, and that game just kind of captured my attention, you know, I don't know, 30 minutes in or something. I was just in. It's like, I get what they're trying to do, I like it, and I'm having fun, and I want to keep playing it, and I want to see what happens next. This game, on the other hand, I kind of had to force myself to play, you know, past, say, the 2-hour mark or so, which, like I said, I'm about 5 hours in at this point, and, you know, after a while, I was just like, man, I want to see what's here, but mostly just so that I can tell people what I've experienced, because it's not really doing it for me. So when this game starts, you get to pick one out of a whole bunch of characters. I don't know exactly how many characters were in there. Different characters will start with different weapons, but I'm not sure how much that actually matters because, for instance, in my case, I picked this guy who is Owen. He's supposed to be a mercenary, and the reason I picked him is because he had the biggest friggin' sword of everybody else in the other characters. I'm like, I'm gonna pick the guy with the biggest goddamn weapon so that I can slash some people up, right? That's what I was thinking. So I pick him up. I start using it, and I start seeing what the drawbacks are of using a greatsword and whatnot. It's like, yeah, you have a little bit of a higher miss rate, but when you do hit someone, it really hurts and all that. And I was getting into it, and then they give you 2 more characters, which were characters that were a part of that character selection screen. So, like, these were 2 characters that you could have selected at start, but instead they just give them to you as companions, and you can, you know, decide how to play each of those characters. In my specific case, they gave me I'm not sure what her name is, what the name of her class, but she's like a tank type class. She's got a shield and a frog, which basically had a spear, right? And so I was supposed to engage in most of the fights that I was in this protector stance, which was basically something that would put my characters in a certain formation during combat, where the chick with the shield would block stuff, and she could actually block hits for everyone. So say someone was trying to hit the frog, she would actually move in front of him and block for him if I had ordered her to do that in the, you know, protector formation. And then the other characters would be free to attack. The frog was also acting as a healer type character. He had this item that would heal people. Your health gets completely regened after each combat. So, you know, the combats are kind of, obviously this is turn-based. I believe I've mentioned that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this is turn-based. And the combats are more of like a puzzle. Like, how can I survive this particular encounter, because the second the encounter is done, your health is back to full. So again, it's more of like a puzzle of playing with the different elements that you have and figuring out what's the best way to tackle each situation more efficiently. Obviously, each character also has SPs, which are things that let you do special attacks and whatnot, and that's where things actually get kind of interesting there. So say I've been using a greatsword, right, on one of my characters. The more you use that greatsword, you start unlocking more skills for that greatsword. Now, in the example of the greatsword specifically, I didn't unlock a single skill because a little bit into the game, I found this knife, and basically I started using the knife because it had way more attack power than my greatsword, which I kind of thought was a bit of a problem. I'm like, man, this greatsword looks so cool, but, you know, I'm one-shotting everything with this knife. I'm just going to keep using this knife. This knife uses this ability called Slice. I forget what was the name of the knife, but basically I was using this ability and just like almost one-shotting everything with this small, tiny-ass knife. I think they even called it a claw. It was a silver claw. Yeah, it was a silver claw, but it looked like a tiny-ass knife. And I was like, so I'm just shanking everyone with this knife. And the fact that I picked the dude who's got the biggest sword doesn't really seem like he has, specific skills that complement the sword usage. It seems like it's more about leveling up your character, leveling up his attack rating, his HP, and then leveling up whatever weapon you equipped on him. Again, bear in mind, this is first impressions. I'm 5 hours into a JRPG. You're not going to get like super in-depth here. I'm just telling you what I've experienced up until this point, right? And so that kind of became, in a way, I almost felt like it became a crutch, but in another way, I felt like, I think this is the way the game's designed to work, because I found this knife, and the knife deals more damage, and I don't like the knife. I don't like the animations on the knife. I don't like the fact that my character, who I wanted him to be a big badass with a big sword, is killing everything with a knife, but I kind of have to keep doing it because it's the most efficient way. And I didn't find a single better weapon. Then I went back to town and I was like, hey, let's see if I can buy some stuff, because I actually did these this side activities and whatnot that the game had of completing these special maps and whatnot. And so I go back to town, I get myself some money, and I'm like, okay, I want to buy a weapon. There's like, okay, there's a hatchet in here. I want to buy this hatchet. Then I look at the attack rating on the hatchet, and I'm like, this hatchet has like 6 attack rating. My knife has like 30. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? So I was stuck with that knife, and that was something that was very frustrating for me. But, I stuck it out to see, because I wanted to see more and see where the game was going. And then another problem became apparent, which was, I don't know if this changes further down the line, but like the story at the start of the game is extremely bare bones. So like, I started as a mercenary. Someone was paying me to go to this island and investigate what was going on with religion over there. And that was pretty much it. That's the background to my character. When I get there, this dude tells me, we got to do something about the elementals and the singing stones and this other thing that is completely, at least at this point, unrelated with what your main quest is. And I'm just like, okay, very well, I guess I'll do that. So I kept doing this quest, and the way that the game works, at the start of the game, they just kind of let you loose on the world. So it almost feels like a much more open world type of approach to JRPG, a lot less handholdy, which I appreciated, but then suddenly regretted because there wasn't really a story motivating me to keep doing this. So I was just going through the motions of the game, and like, there's this map, and if I explore the entirety of this map, I'm going to complete this map, and then I can take it back to town and sell it for money. And I just started doing that. I started completing all the maps, getting all the treasures, which is how I eventually found the really powerful knife. And then I fought a boss at some point, which was some kind of water elemental. And after I fought her, she gave me something that I put somewhere, and the water started flowing, and the water elementals were pleased. And so I had this item where I could now call water elementals to help me doing combat. The problem was the combat was way too repetitive, and I started doing something which I don't think I've done often in video games, was I started trying to actually avoid combat because I was bored of it. Like, it's not even that the combat is bad, it's just that it happens so often in the first 5 hours of the game that it's just like, Jesus Christ, it's the same thing. It's the same enemies over and over and over. And I just couldn't, I kind of lost my motivation to keep on playing. And yeah, it was weird. In terms of art style, which is one of the things that really drew me into this game reminded me a lot of Bravely Default, which, if you guys remember when I talked about Bravely Default, that is a game that I've been super excited. Like, I haven't gotten to play it because of lack of time, but like, that is a game that I'm genuinely still excited about. And I've just received also codes for Bravely Second and Layer. And that's something that I'm excited to talk about because I'm going to be working on that pretty soon as well. And I just have to say, I mean, Legend of Legacy, it seems like it's a solid game, but it wasn't able to grasp me. Now, I think if you're the kind of player who's played Bravely Default and you finished it, and maybe you've played Bravely Second and Layer as well, then you might consider taking a look at Legend of Legacy. Like, I feel sorry, but it's just, I have to say, I really didn't appreciate Legend of Legacy all that much. I mean, again, look at the gameplay and judge it for yourselves, but I can't say I liked it. But anyway, that was my impressions of Legends of Legacy. Again, the art style looks pretty cool, but the rest of it just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. Like, tell me in the comments, you guys. Maybe some of you guys have played Legend of Legacy. Maybe you have a different opinion. Just remember, all of these videos is opinions of one person, because I know that there's going to be some of you guys that are like hardcore into Legend of Legacy, and you're going to tell me, you don't get it at all, you're an idiot and whatnot. Let's just have a conversation instead. Like, tell me what I'm missing about this game, okay? I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear your opinions on it if you've played it. And hopefully the people that are looking for more information will benefit from having your knowledge in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Comments, feedback, all the kinds of good stuff in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next one.